Yes, he is a major general.
Yes, I am a major general.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. And this week, we got a fun one. We are heading to Modern to play some General Ferrous Rokiric. We're playing Multicolored Boros Rokiric, trying to make a bunch of Golem tokens, do some shenanigans, sling some multicolor spells. So let's talk about this sweet $100 brew, jump into some games, see it in action. All right, so here is our Rokiric Boros deck. As you can see, 99 bucks in paper, 26 ticks on Magic Online. And this deck is built around General Ferrous Rokiric, one of the sweetest cards from Modern Horizons 2 that really hasn't gotten enough credit yet. So a 3-mana, 3-wood, legendary human soldier, has hexproof from monocolored, which might not sound like much, but is actually kind of insane in Modern. It means it can't get killed by Fatal Push, Prismatic Ending, Lightning Bolt, essentially all of the most popular removal spells in Modern just can't touch General Ferrous Rokiric. So once we get Rokiric on the battlefield, it's probably going to stick around in most matchups. And then the big payoff is when we cast a multicolored spell, we get a 4/4 red and white Golem artifact creature token for free. So we can cast a random 1-mana multicolored spell, and we end up with a 4/4 as a bonus. And our deck is full of multicolored spells. In fact, out of all the non-lands in our main deck, we only have one card that is not multicolored, and that's Hero Precinct 1, which is essentially mini Rokiric. So it gets a pass, even though it's not multicolored, because it really supports what our theme is trying to pull off. So Hero Precinct 1, just a 2-mana 2/2 that when we cast a multicolored spell, we get a 1/1 human. If we can get both of these going, every multicolored spell we cast is making 2 tokens, a 1/1 and a 4/4, which is an insane amount of free value. Then we have the rest of our creatures, which are just 1-mana multicolored spells. Not super duper powerful figure. Destiny, Dried Militant, they're not bad 1-drops, but their real power is they're multicolored, so they trigger General Ferrous Rokiric. Like, sure, Figure of Destiny only starts off as a 1/1. Dried Militant is only a Savannah Lines with upside, but if we're casting it post Rokiric, we're also getting that 4/4 as a bonus, so they work really well with our payoffs. Then we have our big finish, and I'm surprised no one has figured out how well Heroic Reinforcements works with General Ferrous Rokiric. Heroic Reinforcements, you may remember it from Standard of like 3 years ago. 4-mana sorcery, you get 2 1/1 soldiers, and then you pump your team +1/+1 and give it haste until end of turn. So by itself, it essentially makes 2 2/2s with haste. However, if you got General Ferrous Rokiric out, things get really crazy, because the way this stack resolves, let's say we have Rokiric and we cast Heroic Reinforcements, we're going to get the Golem from Rokiric first, so then Heroic Reinforcements resolves. It pumps the Golem, it gives it haste, so really we can deal an insane amount of damage. If we can cast a Heroic Reinforcements with a Rokiric, with a Hero Precinct 1 or 2 going, like, we just go crazy, make a ton of tokens, give them haste, smash our opponent to death with one big surprise attack. For our removal, we got some Lightning Helixes, we got Response Resurgence, which is kind of cute. It's like bad removal on its front half, and its back half gives us an extra combat step for 5 mana, both sides multicolored. So it's a way we can make a bunch of Golems and then get 2 combats to kill our opponent that way, 1 Boros Charm to burn our opponent or protect our team from like a Wrath. That is something that can kill Rokiric. Targeted removal, pretty bad against Rokiric in general because of its hexproof ability, but a sweeper can kill it. So Boros Charm can save all of our creatures from some sort of Wrath effect. We also have Showdown with the Skalds at the top end of our curve just for some card advantage, another multicolored spell. Mana base wise, some MDFCs, Windbrisk Kites is kind of cute. We can make a bunch of tokens, hide something away under it. If we attack with 3 creatures, we can cast that thing for 1 mana plus tapping Windbrisk Kites, a bunch of budget dual lands in the sideboard, Path to Exile for more removal, Sanctify Ironveck for the Rakdos MH2 style decks, Void Mirror for Tron and also for the Cascade decks, Wear Tear for artifacts and enchantments, Deflecting Palm just to get people that are hitting us with a bunch of damage. And that is Rokiric Boros. That is our budget magic deck for this week. So let's jump into some games, see General Ferrous Rokiric in action, make some Golems, sling some Heroic Reinforcements, and see if it's enough to pick up some wins. So thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll be back in a bit with the wrap up. Do you need some new Innistrad Crimson Vow cards? Well, you can get them all from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, by heading over to cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish and even get a free MTG Goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes and they will hook you up. But budget magic time. We are playing some Rokiric Boros, multicolor Boros tribal in Modern, and we'll give this a go. I mean, we don't have a Rokiric, but hopefully the showdown can find it. Many tap lands, but it's a budget deck. Opponent's going to 5, obviously Tron. Actually, they might really be, oh, blue-white control, okay. No. Oh my god, blue-white hammer time. Well, we might be dead. Windbriz Kites. I mean, if our opponent can put a hammer on the, we'll take the Rokiric. If our opponent can put a hammer on this Thopter and they just mulligan into the combo, then we can't actually stop that at the moment. Ooh, and since this has 0 power, our opponent's not gonna attack with it, so it's very unlikely that we can actually kill it with the response resurgence ever. Like if it gets a hammer, then it's too big. If it doesn't have the hammer, then it's not gonna attack. We might be in trouble. Opponent, Urza's Saga, Stoneforge Mystic. That means the hammer's coming, and we still can't stop it. Well, Metamorphosis, eh? All right, play the mountain. So I guess what is our out? Our out is for our opponent to play the hammer and us to Manamorphose into Lightning Helix. Feels like a long shot. Oh, actually, that's not even an out because they're going to get another oh my god, this is so bad. Esper Sentinel. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks with everything. All right, so we need the miracle draw. We need the miracle draw. Opponent attacks. Sure. Here comes the hammer. Wow. 4 out of 49 goes for the Ornithopter. All right, Manamorphose. Spin it to win it. Opponent gets to draw a card. We cannot pay the 1. Is it Lightning Helix? Red, white, Lightning Helix mana. New. All right, well, once the hammer's on, we can't stop it. We don't have a removal spell that can deal with it, so... Well, that's why Hammer Time does. That's why it's one of the best decks. Wears Tears in. Paths in. Deflecting Palm, kind of hilarious. That also will come in. We will go down. This thing that doesn't actually kill things with Hammer. Response Resurgence. We'll go down the Boros Charm. And... I guess the Manamorphose. Well, that shows that mulliganing doesn't actually matter that much. Our opponent did a lot of mulliganing and still just had the turn 3 kill, basically. Doing their mulliganing. Yeah, this might be a tricky matchup. Having the pass should help, though. It should help to some extent. Deflecting Palm, oh my goodness. If we win with Deflecting Palm, that would make me incredibly happy. That's like the ultimate Jake out. Well, we gotta keep this. I mean, we got the General. I mean, we gotta keep it. We can't not keep it. Opponent, mulliganing, trying to find some hammers. Well, all right, win Briskites. Hide away I guess Cabria takedown with this hand, since we already have Rokiric, so I don't think we need a third. We already have 2 Rokirics. We don't need a third Rokiric, so I think that makes sense. Seachrome Ghost and Esper Sentinel. Abuna passes. Well, play the pathway on red. Hazard the Sentinel, pay the 1. Well, I mean, next turn we get to play Rokiric, and then we get to Figure of Destiny and trigger it. That's not bad. Like, that's what our deck wants to do. Still very frightened about the possibility of just getting hammered, but Snoo covered plains. All right, there's a Stoneforge. I assume that's getting a hammer. We don't see it. Yep, there's a hammer. We don't see a way to equip it yet, which is a little bit good. Ooh, heroic reinforcements. Land on, yeah, we'll just go red, and then General Ferrous Rokiric. We'll see if we continue to live. Do they have a way to equip the hammer? That is the big question. Urza's Saga, so that'll be more hammers. I mean, we potentially deal a lot of damage in 2 turns. Oh boy, Pure Steel. And there's a hammer to draw a card. Well, hopefully there's no free artifacts. Could use some removal. That would be helpful. Opponent goes attacking. We will take the 1. Sure. Removal. Oh, that's Lightning Helix. Okay, so we get to Figure of Destiny. Make a 4/4. This might actually set us up to win next turn. So Figure of Destiny, 4/4 Golem, Lightning Helix, the Pure Steel 4/4 Golem, win Briskites, hide our love away. Hey, ooh, all right, Wear Tear. That could be relevant. Go to combat, hit ya. Down to 17. Oh, I think there's a chance we have lethal. So these become 5/5, so we get another one. They all get haste. We'll see what our opponent does. There's a non-zero chance that we have lethal next turn. Actually, probably a pretty high chance depending on what our opponent does. Like right now, there's 1 blocker. Opponent, Pure Steel Part 2. Yeah. And a land and cracks it. Well, can they get the hammer equipped? Nettle Cyst, okay. draws a card. Well, I mean, if they can get a free artifact like an Ornithopter, that would be a little scary. Opponent passes. Well, I think worst case, this should force our opponent to chump with Pure Steel, which is pretty good. Now, play the Mountain. No one expects the Heroic Reinforcements in Modern. Heroic Reinforcements, make a 4/4, make some tokens, go to combat, swing with the team. That is a pretty sweet combo. Like, Rokiric into Heroic Reinforcements is kind of a lot of damage. We can also upgrade the Figure Destiny. So opponent blocks 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I mean, I think they're dead even if they block our two biggest things. I think we just got them. We're fast enough to raise the hammers. Opponent blocks. You gotta block with the Pure Steel. Wow, blocks there. Okay. I mean, this is still lethal, right? 5, 10, 16. And we get one more from Pump In Figure. I mean, we might as well. I think it's lethal either way, but no reason not to pump the Figure Destiny. Okay, that's what Rokiric can do. This matchup's so frightening. All right, we dodged the hammer long enough to get the win. That was one of our better draws. Like, that's when the deck actually looks pretty sweet. Yeah, we'll keep this. We got a path, which is good, and we got the Deflecting Palm, which makes me unreasonably excited because I don't want to just beat Hammer Time. I want to beat him with a Deflecting Palm. Well, Windbrisk Kites. Wear Tear, I think. Pass the turn. About it. Ooh, Ink Moth. Okay. Oh boy, Cigar-Aid. Oh no. Oh gee. Jeez Louise. All right. So you know how we win this? We win this by drawing another Deflecting Palm. I guess Path is also kind of good. Land on red. Why are they playing blue mana? All right, let's just pass. I mean, if they got a counter, they got a counter. I think we got to pass here. We can choose between Path and Deflecting Palm. Opponent, Flooded Strand. If they got a Spell Pierce or something, then they got us. Goes to combat. Attacks. All right, well, I mean, Pathio. Please don't counter it. So we could have played around one counter by pathing main phase, but then we're open to Ink Moth one-shotting us. I mean, I guess with the hammer already on that Esper Sentinel, like, if they got a second hammer, it's probably going to get us either way. All right, well, not dead yet. We did have to let our opponent draw a card, which isn't ideal. Cracks the Flooded Strand. Another land would be nice. It would be nice to be able to play a creature and leave up Path or something. All right, Sanctifier Invect, sure. Oh, it's so risky. I feel like doing nothing forever is going to make us die too, though. Well, let's pass the turn. We're not that far away from a Deflecting Palm win. Opponent's at 16. Ink Moth Nexus goes to combat, hits us. Nettle Cyst. Are they going to put it on the Sanctifier? Yes. Well, okay. Ink Moth to grow it. All right. Well, we're just going to path it still. At some point, we're just going to have to tap out and play something, though, which is a bummer. Opponent gets a land. It might be this turn. There's a mountain. All right, pass the turn. Oh, this is going in such a ridiculous way. We're playing like a control deck at the moment, which is very much not what we are. Opponent. Another Sanctifier Envec. Okay. And a land and cracks it. So now I think we're like rooting for our opponent to, oh my God, do it. Ink Moth. So if we kill it, they play another Ink Moth and equip. So we got to let it go, unfortunately. Put that Nettle Cyst on there. It's free value. Don't play around the Deflecting Palm. Oh, puts it on the Pure Steel. Okay. Well, that is an issue. That probably means we're going to die. Deflecting Palm. Oh, wait. Is this Infect damage? Is this Infect? Is this still Infect? Is it? No, it's not Infect. Okay. Well, we need a top deck or we're dead. Lightning Helix does not deal enough damage. Come on, Magic Gods. Oh my goodness, that's a top deck. Spike Field Hazard you to 3. MDFCs. Oh, that might be the greatest win we've ever had. Oh, we didn't play a single creature that entire game. We resolved the Deflecting Palm. We top decked the Spike Field Hazard. So good. That was beautiful. That was the best. All right, sweet. Budget Magic time. We are playing some General Ferrous Rokiric Boros multicolor. Oh dear, multicolor Boros. Oh, okay. Oh, this might be like Lantern Control. All right, well, Battlefield Forge and a Dryad Militant. You, opponent. Never want to see a Tron land on turn 1. Never ever. Ooh, Blast Zone. Aye. All right, sure. Opponent passes. We draw a Snarl. Windbrisk Guides. Take a, I guess, Hero Precinct 1. The rest go to the bottom. Figure Destiny. Could use a general. Haven't been all that good at drawing generals this game, I will say, or these matches. Opponent down to 18. All right, gonna draw a card with a relic. Untaps. Oh, so his Blast Zone is going to get us eventually. Ooh, more Tron lands. Okay. Pithing Needle. Sure, that's probably gonna hit. I assume Windbrisk Guides. Figure Destiny. Sure. Opponent passes. Come on, big draw. We need a good card here. Chalice on 1. Well, Showdown on the Skulls is good eventually. Untap land, go to combat, hit you for 3. Well, let's see if our opponent just rolls into Tron. That would be pretty scary. Opponent down to 15. Urza's Saga. All right, that's also pretty scary. Opponent passes. Well, play the land, play a, actually go to combat attack. See if our opponent blows the Blast Zone. Opponent takes it to 12. All right, well, we will play a Showdown of the Scalds. See if we can hit some goodies. All right, Blast Zone's away in the 1-drops. Yeah. All right, no Tron, please. No Tron. All right, well, pass the turn. Probably going to have to play... This is going to be interesting. So opponent takes up the Urza's Saga. Spellskite. Expedition map into their Chalice. And passes. Let's... how can we do this? The question is, do we need to play, you know what, I think we leave the Showdown, as awkward as that is. I think we play Hero Precinct 1. I think we play Manamorphose, make a token, put a counter on the hero. Wow, opponent's gonna pay? Okay, sure. That doesn't actually work, but we'll take it. Says creature we control. So our opponent can't steal it. Red, white. Play a Manamorphose. Make a token, counter on the hero, add red, white. There's the general. I'll play the land on white. Rokiric. Token on the counter on the token, and that's what we got. And then next turn, wow, as long as we don't get Wrath, I think we win, because we can untap in Heroic Reinforcements. Opponent gets to tutor something. We need them not to hit Tron, basic. Oh, they're gonna make a token. Okay, this should be good. I think this will do it. Opponent tutors out something. I guess top decking the Tron land could still be bad. Otherwise, all right, gets Expedition map and Ventures Fair, sure. Well, I think we're winning this turn though. Opponent passes. So we get to take up the Showdown. Pathway on white. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we should do this first. 1, 2, Boros Charm. Hit you for 4. Make some tokens. Oh, this is going well. Grow whatever. And then this Heroic Reinforcements is kind of insane. Because it's going to give all the golems haste too. Yeah, this is like absurd. Heroic Reinforcements. Give some triggers. Do some killing, and that was such a good turn. Ponus gives it up. Oh, take it down, Tron. Now we look for Void Mirrors. Our opponent seems to be heavily on the colorless plan. If we can just incidentally play a Void Mirror, it seems like it could be pretty good. All right, go down some Response Resurgences. Go down a Dryad, run it like that. Come on, Void Mirror. Void Mirror tech would be so amazing. All right, no Void Mirror, but this hand's fine. We will keep. All right, well, come on, Void Mirror, but I mean, we got a Figure Destiny. Our lands even come to play untapped. All right, Urza's Saga. With only 2 Void Mirrors, I don't think we can do the like mulligan until we hit one plan. It's just too risky. What's our opponent naming? Are they going back to the Figure Destiny? Windbrisk Guides, all right. Well, Snarl, play it while we got the basic, get down the Figure of Destiny, pass the turn, opponent, taking up the Saga. Turn 1 Saga is not that scary. That's the one turn where Saga is not super scary. Although, if we end up getting Troned, it's still pretty annoying. All right, Chalice on 0. I'm guessing that was an accident, because this mana's floating. Are we going to get the Shame Scoop? So I told our opponent, so they're trying to put the Chalice on 1, so we are going to... Until we find a way to kill it, we are just not going to play. We're just not going to play 1 mana stuff to keep it fair. Pretend that there's a counter on the Chalice. Opponent down to 19. Urza Saga. All right, so mostly worried about Tron. If our opponent can go Tron land off the expedition map, they're gonna have Tron next turn, and our clock isn't that fast. Okay, at least it's another tower. That's better than our opponent rolling into Tron. Could still use the Void Mirror. Oh, and Snaring Bridge. All right, that's gonna be an issue eventually. Well, Manamorphose. Make a token. White, red. Oh, the flood. Helix your face. Make a token. Land on white. Go to combat. Attack. And yeah, I guess we level up. So we're gonna need to find a Wear Tear. Wear Tear is what we really need to find soon because we're about to get bridge locked. Opponent's at 12. I don't think we can burn him out from 12. Another tower. Serum Powder. Can we please get one more turn of attacking? All right, opponent passes. Dryad Militant. Well, play the land on red. Go to combat. Attack. Level up the Figure of Destiny. All right, we'll see. We'll see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, could be close. Gonna be close. I mean, that is potentially burn. Oh boy. All right, so Tron's coming next turn. Can our opponent get empty-handed? That's a question. They gotta get empty-handed. One card in hand. Oh, come on, Lightning Helix. Come on, Lightning Helix. Come on, Lightning Helix. That is what we need to find. Or the Wear Tear. Either one. I'll go to combat. Hit ya. To 2. So we're gonna cast these 1-drops to trigger hero. I guess we should have been doing this earlier because this is actually like a disadvantage, but we're not going to attack with them. We're gonna act like they're non-existent. Like, we got this weird punt game going on. So we can't attack with the Dryad Militants. We're gonna pretend like they don't actually exist, but we need to make these tokens because we got to make sure even if our opponent has some sort of like removal or something that we can still kill our opponent with our attackers. Opponent, land. Can they get empty-handed? That's the question. They need 0 cards in hand or our tokens get there, or they need to like wrath our board. Oh, they got a blast zone. Interesting. Opponent. Well, I mean, the question is, can they deal with the tokens or get empty-handed? Either one. Mystic Forge. Okay, 1 card in hand. Can they get that last card out of hand? Opponent. Oh, we got the GGs. Well, not only did we win, but we won honorably. the best kind of win. It feels bad to win because of a punt. Like, our opponent clearly floated the mana, and then X spells on Moto, if you're not super used to them, I mean, they can be a little clunky. I have certainly had times when I haven't spent the mana I meant to spend on a spell like Chalice. So I think it was the right thing to do to play it honorably. And we were rewarded by the Magic gods for our honorable play by beating our hated Tron. Actually, this is kind of a cool version of Tron. We tried playing this deck on stream. I could not figure out how to win with it. Not even a little. It is like, I couldn't figure it out. I don't know. I'm sure, I know there's people that like 5-0 with this deck consistently. It's above my head. I play a lot of weird decks. I could not figure out how to win a game with this one, but we'll take it. Sweet, sweet. Budget Magic time. We are getting a little mana screwed with General Ferrous Rokiric, and well, we're keeping this 1-lander. Hope's not super high, but we're on the draw, so I mean, if we can hit a land or two, we might get to play Magic. Opponent, Polluted Delta, cracks it. Watery Grave, untap down to 17, and Mishra's Bauble. Inquisition, takes the Lightning Helix. Cracks the Mishra's Bauble. The opponent thinks about passing. Eventually decides to indeed pass. We will play a tap land and pass the turn. Untaps. Plays a Steam Vents tapped. And passes. Well, land on red. Figure of Destiny. Figure of Destiny. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Well, we'd really like to get a land for this General Ferrous Rokiric. That would make things nice. I mean, we also need it to resolve, which might be asking for miracles. Opponent, Dragon Rage Channeler. 3 card types in the graveyard currently. And passes. So we draw a tap land. Well, I mean, play the tap land, pass the turn. Yeah, I don't think we can attack. It's too easy to get blown out here. Opponent untaps. It's just easy for our opponent to cast an instant and grow their Dragon Rage Channeler and then kill our board. Well, we will pump Figure of Destiny and pump Figure of Destiny. Untap. Opponent's definitely representing counters. Resolving General Ferrous would be so big. I mean, I think we gotta try. Rokiric. Resolves. Okay. Well, pass the turn. That's what we wanted to see. Wait, do they have multicolor removal? Opponent casts a Dress down. All right, so that's going to turn on the Dragon Rage Channeler, but I mean, we got a pretty impressive board here. Oh, wait. Wow. Is this going to let them kill our General Ferrous? That would be ridiculous. This does mean we get to attack because our opponent's Dragon Rage Channeler loses all abilities. Opponent takes it down to 13. Dress down, goes away. Okay, so they weren't doing what I was afraid of, which is making Rokiric lose his text and then like bolding it or fatal pushing it or something. That would have been bad. But Hexproof from monocolor means a lot of common removal isn't going to be able to kill the general, which is one of the upsides of playing general. Opponent. Caraxa. Okay, we will discard the hero of Precinct 1. Opponent. Well, opponent's got to start attacking. Hits us for 3, but I think we're going to hit our opponent back for a smidge, hopefully. Just a little off the top. Opponent passes. Well, we will play a Plains, and we will cast a Manamorphose, make a Golem, add red, red. More lands. Well, in that case, level up. All right, kills the figure destiny. Sure. Well, this means we don't have to worry about Snapcaster Mage ambushing the general. So we do get to just swing with everything. Hit our opponent for 5. Opponent. Yeah, down to 7. Untaps. They can get back the Croxa land for our opponent. Combat hits us. Sure. Down to 14. Could use heroic reinforcements. That would be so good here. Wow, opponent just gets Lurus. Interesting. This might mean we get to win with extra combat steps. We'll see what our opponent has. Opponent passes. Oh, another one. All right, well, land on red. And, I mean, we're going for it. Got to cast it now. And see what our opponent has. Mega Golem. Resurgence, first strike vigilance, extra combat. Opponent cracks. But if our opponent counters this, they just die to our board, right? And if they don't counter, this, then 2 combat steps is going to be insane. Do we got him? Opponent gets a tap land. Okay. Oh, general. All right. And that went pretty well. I mean, the general is a powerful card. And now we get to bring in Sanctifier Invec, which is not especially synergistic with general, but it is kind of a bomb. It's just it's like the best card in Modern against these Rakdos MH2 decks. So we'll go down a couple response resurgences. We'll go down. Elix seems fine. I mean, we could always try Manamorphoses. They're just random synergy pieces. Maybe something like this. Could also bring in a couple paths, although it does. Yeah, let's go down to Hero Precinct 1. Let's go like that. I mean, we're getting too many monocolored cards, which is a concern. However, I mean, Sanctifier and Path, I think, are just worth it. I don't think we want all 4 paths, but in some number, like just a clean answer to something like Crocs is huge. Oh, God. Well, I mean, trust the magic gods. We're going to snap keep this. I mean, 2 Sanctifier Invects is what we want to see. Mana, not especially close to casting them, unfortunately, but opponent, land, and, oh, is that stupid monkey? Okay, Dragon Rage Channeler, better than Stupid Monkey. So we really would love to draw a white source. Our mana's a little bit budget, a little bit clunky, but we do have plenty of white sources. We have more white sources than red sources. Opponent, doing their bobble stuff. Yeah, we just really want to get, another one. We really just want to get down these Sanctifier Invects. Like, that is the most important thing here. The Manamorphose, like, oddly helps. That can give us double white mana, potentially. So opponent casts a bunch of stuff, cracking a bunch of bobbles, surveilling a ton, passes. White source, please. Wow, how greedy are we? Pretty greedy, I guess. We'll draw another land. We might come to regret this play. Killing a Dragon Rage Channeler really good. Oh, spending the land that we desperately wanted to do it. That is risky. Measures bubble. Yeah, draw. Sure. Watery Grave. Fine. Opponent. Another one. Well, now I definitely regret killing it. Okay. Well, we have all the Figure of Destinies in the world. Oh, boy. With how this played out, we probably would have been better, playing the Spike Field Hazard as a land and taking our Dragon Rage Channeler beads. That was max greed. That was 1 land, 1 keep. And then we drew the land but played it as a spell. Opponent, Inquisition, sure. Okay, this is not the best place to be. Opponent leaves the card on top. I assume they start taking Sanctifiers because they're absurd against our opponent's deck. They do. Opponent goes to combat. No attacks. That is about as far from a land as you can get. I think it actually literally is as far from a land as you can get in our deck. Get in with the Figure of Destiny. I assume our opponent left a land on top of their deck. Opponent takes it, sure. Well, Figure of Destiny. Pass the turn. All right, so there's a bolt to kill a Figure of Destiny. Well, see if we can draw this land. Opponent. I mean, we can't get too salty because in a very real sense, we did it to ourselves by casting that Spikefield Hazard. We could have played that as a land. Opponent goes to combat. No attacks. Well, I mean, technically that's a land. It's not a good land. It is the worst land, but it is a land. So I guess we can attack. Actually, it's pretty risky. All right, no attacks. Figure Destiny, part 3, pass the turn. Opponent. Question's gonna be, can we actually find a way to resolve this Sanctifier? If we do, we're gonna be in really nice shape. Not that easy though. Not that easy in Grixisville. Opponent goes to combat. Passes. Let's Manamorphose. Opponent's gonna counter it. Spell Pierce, all right. Leaves it on top. All right, so opponent, interesting. I think this means we gotta pass. Actually, you know what, I guess we can attack. Yeah, we're gonna attack. They need to have an instant and then mill the card that they put on top and have that card be a land or a creature. Opponent blocks. Well, maybe they do. Okay, opponent just trades. Interesting. All right, so opponent untaps. Boy, we would love a land. Oh my goodness, we would love a land that makes white mana. That would make us so happy. Opponent. Another Dragon Rage Channeler number 3 and a Bobble to Surveil, and it's turned on this time. So it is gonna have to start attacking. Oh, come on, deck. Come on, deck. Show us that untapped white source. There's like 3 of them in our deck. You can do it. This is your time, opponent. Yeah, gets the bobble, cracks the bobble, looks at what we're drawing. Is it a land? Only our opponent knows. Snarl was right on time. Right on time. Opponent passes. We draw. Well, opponent draws first. All right, deck. General Ferrous Rokiric. All right, well, we will pass the turn. Yeah, we are not catching a ton of breaks when it comes to drawing these lands. Opponent. We technically have 24 lands in our deck, so it's not like we're going super greed. Well, I mean, we kind of went super greed with that Spikefield Hazard, but opponent. Inquisition. Surveils. We'll see what they take. It's probably the Sanctifier. Well, that was a risk when we kept this hand. We didn't have the mana to cast Sanctifier, but we had 2 of them. It looks like we are gonna end up resolving 0 of them, which is kind of a bummer. Opponent goes to combat, gets in. We get to attempt to kill the Dragon Rage Channeler. Opponent passes. Do we draw a land? No. Rokiric. Good lord. All right. Well, at this point, it's not just our greed with the Spikefield Hazard, because we are 14 cards deep with 3 lands. Opponent. I mean, our opponent's also on 2 lands, but they've surveilled a million times and left cards on top, so I do not feel even a little bad for our opponent. Like, they chose this life. I guess you can argue we did too, but I mean, they've surveilled a million times and just chose not to dig for lands. Opponent. Croxa. Well, I mean, I guess we discard a Rokiric. Okay, that's a land. That's nice. That is good. That is good. Wow. Rokiric or... yeah, we got a Rokiric. Rokeric's too good to pass up here. Play Rokiric. Go to combat. Hit you for 2. Well, now we're a land away from Showdown of the Scalds, which would be insane. Opponent goes down to 10. Any multicolor card is great. I don't know how much removal our opponent has that can actually deal with a Rokiric, honestly. About it. This has been a weird draw. Everyone's played a ton of spells, but we're both so pinched on lands. Death Shadow, This also triggers on cast too, which is nice. Kills our figure. Yup. I mean, I guess we passed the turn. I don't think we want to path the Death Shadow and give our opponent their 3rd land. This is a weird scenario. The other bummer is we actually managed to draw one of our sideboard cards. We talked about this during sideboarding. Sideboarding in monocolor cards, kind of a bummer because they don't make golems. Opponent, gonna go to combat. Gonna hit us with the Death Shadow. Well, we're gonna take it. Yeah, we don't have a ton of untapped lands in our deck, which is not great at the moment. Shenanigans. Drowned in the lock on Rokiric. Well, okay. In that case, we are going to path the Rokiric, get a plains. So opponent did have a multicolor answer. This gets us to Showdown of the Scalds. to hopefully draw a few cards. I'll play Battlefield Forge, play a Figure of Destiny. Those are not great hits, honestly. And pass the turn. But we did find some lands, which is nice. Figure returns. Opponent's still on 2 lands. Opponent, can you kill the figure? I mean, they gotta have all action in hand, right? Since they're on two lands. Opponent's amount 2 lands after going 20 cards into their deck, which is kind of insane. Opponent. All right, gonna expressive iteration to try to hit their somethings. Lands, I assume. This does increase our odds of getting on a second Showdown of the Scalds. Sooner or later, we're gonna, oh, another Death Shadow. That's a little scary. Means our opponent's playing it this turn, though. All right, well, here they come. Are we dead? Watery Grave, down to 7. Another Death Shadow. Yeah, it's unfortunate we didn't have any token makers off of the Showdown. Death Shadow number 2. Opponent gonna go attacking with a huge 6/6 that we can't actually stop. Yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. Like, I think we're dead bad. Opponent gets and hits us. That was a pretty bad showdown. We finally got to the showdown and oh my god, did it fizzle. Opponent passes. Now we draw Sanctifier and back, which is good. Well, play that lets us block something. How greedy are we? Are we greedy enough to play another Showdown? We might have to be. Otherwise, we're doing what? We're playing Sanctifier and Vec and passing. Sanctifier and Vec, chump block. Yeah, we're still in a really fragile, almost deadly position. Yeah, I mean, I think we have to. Showdown of the Scalds. Counter on figure. Hit an untapped land, please. All right, untap white source. Sanctifier and Vec. I mean, there's still no guarantee that we survive this. Well, we pass the turn. If we do survive it, it's great, but it's also possible that our opponent literally kills us here. Like, kill the Figure of Destiny, grow the Death Shadow, we die. On the other hand, if we untap, then the Sanctifier and Vec is incredibly likely to be lethal. I mean, just casting this and this with double Showdown is almost certainly going to be enough. So this is the turn. Either we die here or our opponent dies on their turn. I don't think there's any 2 ways about it. Okay, bolts the Figure of Destiny. Got a fetch land? Opponent does not appear to have the fetch land. Are we getting this? Is this happening? Sanctifier number 3, it was super late, but might still be enough. Attacks it. I mean, we'll see. They could have like Street Wraith, I guess, if that's a thing that... Oh, they can't play Street Wraith because they're a Lurus deck. Well, we block. Are we missing something? We go to 3. Opponent passes. Okay, this should be good. This should be good. All right, so... Double Showdown trigger. Start with Manamorphose. Oh no. Oh, I'm an idiot. This doesn't work at all. Opponent counters. Yeah, so we're still dead. Oh wow. Lightning Helix. Duh. Showdown can't target Sanctifier. So this means we're still dead. The protection is good against our opponent's deck, but actually bad for our deck. Oh, if this was only hexproof from red. All right, well, if they can kill the militant, then we're dead. What a weird game. Oh, duh. Opponent goes to combat. I mean, they could also have the trample, blah, blah, blah spell. Goes attacking. We block and block. Oh, looks like they have it. Oh, that also, well, okay. So this kills our stuff. However, we still have an out. We got to draw heroic reinforcements. That is our one out. Got to draw it right now. That might eliminate the one out. All right, we draw General Ferrous Rokiric. Not good enough. Yeah, okay. So we'd play Rokiric, we could cast this. Wow, that was a weird game. I thought we had it there. Forgot about the protection ruining our own deck. Oh, and we just, took us so long to hit lands. I think it took our opponent a long time to hit lands, but I think our opponent was intentionally not drawing lands. All right, well, we're on the play for game 3. Would have went a lot different had we been able to resolve one of those Sanctifier decks that we started with. That's where things went pretty wrong. We're not doing this again. Oh, God. I don't know how our 24 land deck is so good at having 1 land opening hands. It is a little bit of a bummer. Well, okay. Oh, so when I was building this deck, I felt like we desperately needed a couple more dual lands. The only one that would fit under the budget is Furycom Snarl. There are 2 copies of Furycom Snarl, and it makes me sad to look at them. Opponent, Blood Crypt. And Inquisition takes our Lightning Helix. Sure. Opponent's also managing to play at a timeout rate of speed, which is interesting. Go to combat, hit you with the Dryad. Can we draw a real Magic the Gathering card? Opponent down to 16, untaps, and plays a mountain. I think our opponent deserves to time out here, honestly, at the pace they're playing. Spike Field Hazard. Well, we will go to combat. Hit our opponent for 2, or attempt to. Opponent has Unholy Heat. Well, play a Snarl and pass the turn. Well, we'll see. I mean, if we resolve Showdown of the Skalds, that could find us some action. Opponent taps. Please don't Thoughtseize. Please don't counter. We need to hit some cards off the Showdown. So opponent draws blue mana, theoretically. Cracks the Bloodstained Mire. Gets a Watery Grave untapped. Expressive Iteration, gonna try to draw the Thoughtseize for our Showdown. Do they find it? Yeah, with the mulligan and the position we're in, we really Unholy Heat. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Go Showdown of the Skalds. Oh my god, and the Sanctifier. Well, Mountain. We gotta do it now while your opponent's tapped down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Showdown of the Skalds. Draws 4 for next turn. All right, well, we will pass the turn. I mean, that's interesting. Interesting draws. We got another Showdown. Yeah, we're gonna have to decide how we do this, honestly. Another Showdown would be sweet, but getting it countered would be less sweet. Opponent Scalding Tarn, getting to the Death Shadow stage of the game. Karaxa. Well, we will discard Spikefield Hazard. I mean, I guess that's an upside to MDFCs. It's something we can discard to Karaxa and not take damage. All right, so discard Spikefield Hazard. Opponent passing. All right, we draw Cabria Takedown. I think we have to play this on white. Play Dryad Militant. The question's going to be, do they have the Spell Pierce? Opponent cracks. Watery Grave. Untapped. Counters it. Well, we're going to stick with the Showdown plan. The bad news about this is it means our opponent's going to be able to likely get back Kroxa. Well, we hit Paths, which is kind of nice. So if our opponent does get back Kroxa, we can actually answer the Kroxa, which is pretty huge. Okay, we might be in okay shape here. Opponent untaps. We don't really have any multicolor spells at the moment for this Rokiric, but like next turn we can Rokiric Path Sanctifier. That seems decent. Dragon Rage Channeler. Expressive Iteration to draw some cards. This is gonna be close. This is gonna be super close. Mills a land. Opponent's under 4 minutes, so the timing out is still not completely off the table for our opponent. Opponent gets a bobble, plays it for free, gets to surveil, sure. And cracks it to take a peek, and passes. All right. Well, opponent gets to draw. What do we find? Manamorphose. All right, well, triggers and triggers. Now, step 1, play this on white. Step 2, play Rokiric. Step 3, Manamorphose. Make a Golem. Grow the Rokiric. Add white. Sanctifier and Vec. Grow the Rokiric. Get rid of your graveyard. Path the Dragon Rage Channeler. Grow the Rokiric. Opponent gets a land. Okay, that was a good turn. Pass the turn. Are we getting there? Come on, hold. We answered the Kroxa. We answered the threat. We got a relatively well-protected board other than dress down shenanigans. And we're kind of presenting lethal next turn. Death Shadow, sure. Opponent, passing. Well, let's see what we draw. Oh, opponent, Ragavan. We draw Windbriskites. Well, trigger Showdown. Windbriskites finds us. Probably Showdown, I guess. Well, go to combat, do some attacking. I'm kind of thinking our opponent's on the dress down plan, but I'm also thinking we can beat that with Cabria Takedown. Yeah, so with that on the stack, we can kill the Death Shadow and put a counter on the Golem. So everything loses all their abilities. So our opponent, in theory, can kill the Sanctifier, but unless they have a removal spell in hand, they're going to have to block something else or they're going to be dead. Gotta block the Rokiric. Sure. Well, while our opponent step down, we will play another Rokiric just to be safe, make a token. Oh no. Wow, that's oh, that is a punt. Yeah, oops. Dress down, of course. Stupid dress down. We're even just talking about dress down. Of course we don't get a token because we have a Rokiric. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get yelled at. I mean, I think we're gonna beat MH2 Tribal, but I also think I might get just a little yelled at in the comments. And a bonus scoops it up. A win's a win. A win's a win. We did get there. Yes, there was maybe a couple mistakes. Let me know in the comments which punt was bigger. Trying to target Sanctifier and Vec with our Showdown of the Scalds in game 2, or Legend rolling our Rokiric after a dress down in game 3. Give me, maybe I'll post a poll in the comments. I'll give you a poll. You can let me know what you think. Which one was worse? Well, we got there in the end. Sweet. Budget magic time. We are playing some General Ferrous Rokiric in Modern this week. And this hand looks reasonable. All right, Spike Field Gave, go. Inspiring Vantage. And, all right, opponent's playing Burn. This should be interesting. Yeah, let's just Windbrisk Kites, see what we can find. Wow, okay. Well, the good news is those are a bunch of lands to the bottom. Opponent cracks a Scalding Tarn. Passes. Well, I guess we'll play a Cabrilla Takedown now. Pass the turn. His Lightning Helix should be good. Skullcrack down to 14. Still gonna need more threats though at some point. Hitting nothing off that Windbrisk Kites was pretty bad. Rift Bolt suspended. Opponent passing. Well, we'll untap. Snarl, reveal the mountain, and well, here comes the dorks. Not especially good dorks, but there are dorks. Heroic Reinforcements. Hit you for 4. Opponent down to 13. Well, we'll see. Opponent. Boros Charm down to 10. I mean, we could just get burnt out here, potentially. Opponent. Rift Bolt. Opponent. Skewer the Critics. Opponent. Eidolon of the Great Revels and a Sunbaked Canyon. Oh, well, we need to... I mean, we're probably just dead here, honestly. Cabrilla Takedown. Kill the Eidolon. Drop to 2. Go to combat. Hit ya. Down to 11. Play the land and pass the turn. Opponent. Lightning Bolt. Well, Lightning Helix can maybe keep us alive. Up to 5. Down to 2. Oh, we're so close and yet so far. Opponent. Oh, not good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're gonna end up just short. You know why I think why we lost. Oh my goodness. You know, the response resurgence is not looking great here. Opponent down to 6. I mean, if our opponent has literally no burn spells. All right, so opponent does have a burn spell. Oh, that was so close. Well, I guess Sanctifier and Vec probably comes in. And we can go down. Boros Charm, 2 responses, and yeah, I guess some Anamorphos, run it like that. Well, I mean, we'll keep this, mostly because the Lightning Helixes are pretty good against burn. We could still use a Rokiric or something. Windbrisk Kites. Please, something other than 4 lands this time. Well, I mean, Heroic Reinforcements is okay. It's not the best because of the timing. Casting it after combat is not the most ideal, but opponent plays a Goblin Guide, goes to combat, gets in, top card is a Mountain. Well, play a Snarl, play a Mountain, pass the turn. Opponent cracks an Arid Mesa, goes to combat. Top card, well, Showdown of the Scalds. That will be good eventually. Well, we're going to Lightning Helix the Goblin Guide. His Helixes definitely are going to be helpful. We'll see if our opponent has a Skullcrack. That would be kind of a blowout. All right, so Goblin Guide down. Well, I guess we just play the Cabrilla Takedown, pass the turn. So we still have another Helix for a creature. I think what we'll probably try to do is Showdown of the Scalds into... All right, Boros Charm to 17. Showdown of the Scalds into the Heroic Reinforcements, most likely. Sacred Foundry for our opponent. Untapped. Lava Spike to 14. And Eidolon. Well, we will kill the Eidolon. Go back up to 15. Ooh, Hero Precinct 1. So, Mountain. Play... Oh, maybe we just Heroic Reinforcements first. Yeah, let's just Heroic Reinforcements. Heroic Reinforcements hit you to 10. I mean, we just got to close out the game as fast as possible here. That is our goal. Before our opponent can draw enough burn spells to kill us, essentially. Opponent suspends a Rift Bolt, 2 cards in hand. At 15, our opponent still needs several burn spells, though. Searing Blaze to kill a token. Only hits us for 1, though. Well, play the land. Play Rokiric. Play Hero of Precinct 1. And goes to 8. I think we're hopefully going to be good. There's no way we're dying this turn. And there's a pretty good chance our opponent's dying next turn with this. Response, Resurgence, and Showdown of the Skulls. Opponent, Eidolon. Sure. Well, we will play a Pathway, play Showdown of the Skulls, make 2 tokens, draw some cards. Yeah, go to combat, do some attacking. Attack. Opponent, going to block, lose the Eidolon. Well, that's fine, because we get 2 mana. Morphos, make a dork. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, okay. Oh, the lightning helix has come through. That was pretty good. Deflecting Palm is cute. You know what? Let's get cute. We're on the draw. We're up against burn. Let's see if we take him out with Deflecting Palm. We'll go down the Manamorphosis. We just got to not get run over by the creatures early, basically. That's kind of the issue. Hand's not bad. Opponent suspends a Rift Bolt. We don't have any life gain, which is a bit awkward. Windbrisk Heights. Grab a Hero Precinct 1. Pass the turn. Opponent. We do have 2 Deflecting Palms, which is kind of hilarious. Rift Bolt down to 17. Swift Spear and a Mountain. And opponent hits us. And Castle Lightning Bolt. Well, all right. So we're probably going to have to play this on white then because of how this is going. And trust we draw more red mana. Yeah, well, okay. This isn't great, but this is going to stop the Swift Spear beats for now. Sanctifier and Vec. We do still need to draw red mana. Opponent cracks the Arid Mesa. Gets a Sacred Foundry untapped. Lightning Helix. Okay. And Skewer the Critics. All right, so opponent's just casting all the burn. They did have a good burn hand. Losing the die roll was... being on the draw is definitely bad. Opponent going to swing into the Sanctifier, because why not? Well, come on, red mana. Nope. All right. Well, we might die for the want of red mana here. Hero Precinct 1, Cabria takedown, pass the turn. Oh, we need to be able to cast these Deflecting Palms. About it. Sacred Foundry. And gets a Luris. Passes. There's red mana. Well, interesting. Now let's play Hero of Precinct 1. Let's go to combat, attack, hit ya, down to 18. Wow, this is gonna be super close. Yeah, pass the turn. Leave up the Deflecting Palm. Opponent sacks the Sunbaked Canyon or Firewalker. Sure. And Goblin Guide. Sure. Opponent goes attacking. Top card. Heroic Reinforcements. Well, we will Deflecting Palm. Make some tokens. Oh, wow. We might have a chance. All right, so the Goblin Guide damage hits our opponent. We untap 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I don't think there's any way we die next turn. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Heroic Reinforcements. So if we attack 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, opponent only has to block 1. So we'll go to combat, do some attacking. Opponent blocks, drops to 13. All right, no Boros Charms, Opponent Luris and Swift Spear. Okay, I think we got it. Oh my goodness, we got there against burn. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one should definitely be lethal. Heroic Reinforcements number 2 with the heroes, and now we just swing with everything. Go to combat, attack with the crew. Opponent gets to do some blocking, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Opponent blocks. Yeah, we have too many 1/1s. Oh, all right. Well, we didn't find the general, but backup. Hero Precinct 1. Good enough against Bird. And that was a pretty good example of what this deck wants to do. It can really pour on some damage. Sweet. Budget Magic time. We are playing some General Ferrous Rokiric in Modern this week. And this hand actually looks pretty good. We got General, we got backup General. Our mana is functional. And we gotta wait to kill Ragavan if we have to. Or Arbor Elf. I think it's worth playing off curve to kill this. Arbor Elf does scary things if it untaps, and our opponent mulliganed, which makes it even more likely that killing this is going to be good. Like, they might have kept a landlight hand leaning on Arbor Elf. So I think it's worth it to get it out of here. Opponent, when it fails, a little worried they're Panza. His hand might be a little slow if our opponent's Panza-ing. Ignoble Hierarch and Arbor Elf. All right, so all the mana dorks. I don't know what our opponent's doing. Well, come on, more Spike Field Hazards. You know what? Let's play this. This is a little awkward. Manamorphose. I think we're just gonna Manamorphose out Hero Precinct 1. White-red. Ooh, and we draw the land. That's good. Hero Precinct 1. Go. Well, opponents only got 2 cards in hand. If they aren't blowing up our lands, we might be in business. Because we can play General next turn and get a token from Hero, and then, like, our other cards just go off. Another Ignoble Hierarch, sure. And 1 card in hand. What is the last card? That is the question. Stomping Grounds. Is it a Haymaker? Opponent's down to 14. 1, 2... Oh, okay. I mean, that is a very good card. Also, Blood Moon kind of wrecks our deck. That is one of the drawbacks of budget decks, is they're not good against Blood Moon. Opponent passes. Play a land on white. Rokiric. Make a token. Yeah, if we get Blood Moon, I think we just lose. If that ever happens with the budget deck, keep in mind that that is kind of a budget thing. Like, if we played this exact same deck list, but we had the ability to fetch out basic lands, then Blood Moon would not be a concern. So it's more of a budget deck concern. Bonnet, Verdant Catacombs. And untaps, okay. All right, well, unfortunately, that is the game. We will just not cast anything for the rest of this game and lose. Opponent gets in, hits us. Yeah, like I said, this is a downside of being a budget deck. We just don't have the ability to fetch out basics. You got to play a lot of non-basics to make the mana work. And I think we have like 8 planes in the deck or something. So, I mean, we won't scoop, and our opponent has a lightning bolt. Yeah, I mean, that's just the cost of doing business with a budget deck. Well, play the land, pass the turn, hit you for 3, 4. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Because we actually had like a really sweet hand that was going to go off and do really cool things. But unfortunately, gets in, hits us. Yeah, I don't think we have, I guess we can draw Manamorphose. Manamorphose would be interesting. All right, land that. That can't be right. I can't imagine that that's supposed to come into play tapped because it's a mountain. That's got to be a bug, right? I mean, not that it actually matters in the grand scheme of things, but like it's got to be a bug. About it. As much as I love Blood Moon, it is really sad when you're playing budget Magic. About it goes to combat, attacks. Hits us. Oh, we were gonna do fun things. I mean, this just happens until we die. We'll stick around in case we draw Manamorphose, but yeah, that's a mountain. We will attack. Well, 1 more turn. We're not gonna do the chump blocking thing. Like once we got a chump block, then we'll doubly scoop. Opponent gonna block with the Arbor Elf. And so we got a couple wear tears in the sideboard that I guess could kind of help, but really, this is gonna be an issue. Opponent gets in, hits us. Sure. Yep. Down to 4. Do we draw our single planes? No. And we scoop it up. I mean, that's a cost. That we've talked about this before with budget decks. A lot of times, budget decks are just as good as normal decks. However, there are specific situations where the budget aspect really shines through. This is an example of one of those situations where you really feel the pinch of being a budget deck. So we're gonna bring in some paths. Path is technically a way that we can like path our own creature to get a planes. But like I said, the issue is mostly like, because we're budget, we don't have the opportunity to like fetch out our basic planes. When that is like the way to play around Blood Moon with less budget decks is you just want to make sure on your first couple turns you're fetching out the basics. If we could fetch out a single planes with this deck, we'd kind of be in business. Like we'd be able to do everything, but unfortunately, fetch lands a little bit expensive. We get to play first, and well, I mean, hand's fine. It does not beat a Blood Moon, but again, budget Magic things. All right, so win Breast Kites. Snag us something good, Hideaway Land. Wear Tear we wouldn't mind in hand to kill Blood Moon, but we'll take a Rokiric, put the rest on the bottom, pass the turn. Opponent, Ignoble Hierarch. How can we play around a Blood Moon? We can't really. We can play this on, I mean, I think we gotta just play Magic. Lightning Helix, Ignoble Hierarch, pass the turn. So we can try to Dryad Militant and leave a path to path our Dryad Militant, maybe. Drawing a Wear Tear would also be pretty sweet. Opponent, Ignoble Hierarch. Well, all right. Here we're playing the one. If we get Blood Moon here, we're kind of done again. Windbreast Kite's number 2. If we don't get Blood Moon, next turn, we'll take a path. Next turn, we can leave up the path for like a tiny bit of protection. Opponent. Oh boy, that's a lot of mana. Eerie. All right. Well, that's not good for us, but it doesn't beat us like a Blood Moon does. Passes. Well, we will play Dryad Militant and pass the turn. Opponent. Bloodbraid. Oh, if this is Blood Moon. Oh, Bone Crusher. Boy, that's still pretty bad. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we got to get our planes, but this means we're taking a ton from this Fury, like 10. This means we can sort of survive a Blood Moon, kinda, maybe-ish. All right, well, Fizzle the Stomp. Oh, we're taking, yeah, we're in a heap of trouble. Gonna hit us for probably just 10 still. Yeah, hits us for 10. 2 cards in hand. All right. Fury's pretty good. A lot better than I gave it credit for during spoiler season. Well, play a Battlefield, Fjorge, play Figure of Destiny. And we got to kill the Fury, so we got to pass and leave up this Response Resurgence, or we're just gonna die. Untaps. And, all right, there's a Blood Moon. Sure. And last card. Is actually 2 more cards. Oh, this matchup is so tough about it. Well, live by the Blood Moon, die by the Blood Moon, I guess. Goes to combat attacks. Well, we do get to kill the Fury, which is a tiny bit of something. Yeah. And then we can level up the Figure of Destiny. Oh, but we're stuck with a single white mana for the rest of the game, and that's not great. Well, Showdown of the Scalds. Well, Showdown of the Scalds. Draw some cards. Play the Pathway. Manamorphose. Add white-red. Helix and Magus of the Moon. I mean, we're doing what we can to not be dead. we're trying our best to stay alive. We could really use some more creatures at some point. Would be helpful. Opponent taps. And 2 cards in hand thanks to the Seasoned Pyromancer. Not a Bloodbraid Fury again. Yeah, all right. Well, yeah. Blood Moon against budget decks, not where you want to be. So what do we learn this week about Rokiric Boros in Modern? And the deck performed surprisingly well. We ended up going 4-1. We got crushed by Blood Moon, which, as I talked about during the match, that's just going to happen if you're playing a budget deck. Really difficult, unless you just happen to be monocolored or a red deck, to play around Blood Moon if you're a budget deck. On the other hand, we had that ridiculous win against Hammer Time, one of my favorite wins we've gotten in a long time, with the Deflecting Palm into untap, top deck, the lethal Spikefield Hazard to close out the game the turn before we were gonna die, which was amazing. We took down some pretty powerful like MH2 piles, that weird Tron deck. So the deck performed really well. I still think General Ferrous Rokiric is kind of underrated. Like, we've seen it show up a little bit in Modern, in like Niv decks, in some Zoo decks, but I really think it is powerful enough to build a deck around. The synergy with Heroic Reinforcements is kind of insane. We got to see a couple of games where that really went off and it was super powerful. And the rest of the deck, I mean, it supports our main theme pretty well. I mean, I'm not sure about like Response Resurgence. That might be a little bit janky. The Windbreast Kites in the mana base didn't work out as good as we hoped, but still, the deck felt really sweet all around and like a really solid budget deck. If you're looking to upgrade, the main deck, I think, is pretty solid. I mean, it's got some filler-ish style cards, like Dryad Militant and Figure of Destiny. I'm still not sure how I feel about them. I think they're, like, necessary evils. They're not great, but they're 1-mana multicolor creatures, and they fill out our curve, and they're multicolor, so it hits a lot of marks that we need to support the Rokiric plan. So I think they're good enough as synergy pieces. I think the big upgrade is really mostly the mana base. I feel like a broken record, but every week we talk about, well, the easiest thing to do is just improve the mana base, and I think that is still true. Like, that would let us play around Blood Moon. It would be more consistent. We'd have less tap lands. We wouldn't get Snarl, which happens on occasion. But really, the deck was fun. It is sweet. If you like being aggressive, if you like slinging multicolor spells, making a bunch of tokens, it seems like a pretty good option for 2022 Modern. So anyway, that's been Rokiric Boros. That's been our budget magic for this week. Happy 2022, everyone. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.